Well, look, man, I have to be honest.
Yes, please.
I hate associating the word trust with the Cowboys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because for the past quarter century,
they haven't earned it.
They have been completely untrustworthy.
Okay.
Every time you thought they're good, they break your heart.
Simple
So I'm not going to say trust, but I will say this. I do think the Cowboys with Dak are better than the Eagles.
Time out on the show.
They were within.
What team do you trust more?
No,
you don't get to just make your own
Cowboys,
question.
the Cowboys. I'm
Say
going
you
with
trust
the Cowboys.
Say you
I
trust
will
the
not
Cowboys.
say trust.
Bruce, say you trust the
I can't
Cowboys.
say
We
trust.
agreed at 10 o'clock in the morning. This was the question.
You can't say they better than the Eagles and say you don't trust them.
Say it.
Brew, who's the best team in the NFC now that Dak's back?
The Cowboys.
There we go.
Do I trust them? No, but the Cowboys. All right. Look, they were within 3 early in the fourth quarter with a quarterback we know can't really throw downfield. Nick was all over this. Cooper Rush is what he is. He did a great job. But once they were down 2 touchdowns, you figure, he's got to throw now. They're not getting back in this. He had a PR of below 40, and yet they had a chance to win. I am banking on not the Dak we saw in week 1 against Tampa, but the Dak we saw last year. Ooh. And I think what they do, I've said it week upon week after week, they have to stick with this game plan for the most part. Zeke looked good. I haven't seen Zeke look that good in a while. Obviously, Pollard is a big play guy. And open it up a little bit with Dak. And with that defense, I'm going with the Cowboys.
Man, this when I seen this question, I'm like, Lord have mercy, right? Because when you watch the Philadelphia Eagles play, they easily say we the best team in football, right? At least on the NFC side.
Okay.
You know, I know that the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs are over there, but the Eagles could win anyway. They could win ugly 7-0. They could win 54-50. They could win anyway. This defense is real for the Eagles too. Just like the Cowboys defense is real, this defense for the Eagles is real. And they keep everybody on their toes. They don't know if Jalen Hurts is running it. They don't know if they handed it off to Miles Sanders. I mean, the play designs, you've seen the play in the red zone to Devontae Smith. They done ran that play a couple times. They got Micah Parsons in no man's land. Do I get the flat? Boom, then we bluff you, and we in the end zone, right? The play design, and this ain't just against the Cowboys. This is all year long. They've been dominant. They've been putting pressure on defense.
They seem to have an unstoppable 3rd and 1 play that I don't know why more teams don't run, where they have like the heavy backfield and just push Jalen Hurts forward.
But everybody quarterback don't clean and squat 600
like
pounds.
college stuff. You don't know where the ball's going. You don't know who's going to have the ball.
Absolutely. But like you said, the Cowboys are built different this year.
You with me?
The Cowboys are built different this year. They are not built on Dak Prescott. They are built on Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and this defense, and they are playing defense at a high level. If Dak is in that game last night and he can get outside the pocket and make some plays with his legs, and you have to account for that stuff, which Cooper Rush cannot do, right? That was clear to me. Everybody's been saying quarterback controversy, and it was clear to me last night. You need a superstar quarterback to beat really good teams, right? If you playing average teams, Cooper Rush can get away with that. To beat really good teams, you need a superstar quarterback. Dak Prescott was missed in that game last night. But I am going to say I trust the Cowboys more than I trust.
Okay, all right, listen. I'm not sure Dak's a superstar, but he was certainly missed in that game. And in the previous segment, I said, let's not just anoint the Bills with the 1 seed just yet because of their schedule coming up. I'm ready to anoint Philly with the 1 seed, however. Philly, it is hard to, especially because who has the second best record in the NFC? Well, the Giants are one of them, but also the Vikings. And they have the head-to-head victory over the Vikings. So for them, 13-4 gets them the 1 seed. It is hard to find 5 losses. It is hard to find 5 losses on the Eagles' schedule the rest of the way. They have a great offensive line. Not a good offensive line, a great offensive line. They have a great defensive line and even better secondary. I mean, they weren't overdoing it last night on the broadcast when they were talking about them like this is the best secondary in football. They might have already had the best pair of corners, and then right before the season, they added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So now they have 3 excellent corners. 3 guys in that in their cornerback room that would be the best corner on a lot of different teams. You add all that, and then you have Jalen, who is the question mark on the team. And in fairness to Jalen, he will be the question mark until we see him play in a playoff game again. For a quarterback, I think for every quarterback, the rule is we believe in you in the regular season.
So he has not answered every question for you yet?
I don't think so. That's why I said in fairness to him, he could win league MVP this year.
Yes.
And there would still be a question until we see him in the playoffs because he's played. Same thing that happened with
so
Lamar.
young. No, people give your first playoff game. You're young. I think people.
Yes. No, I'm not. I am not closing the door that he will answer those questions. But to me, Lamar is a fair comp, not just because they're both black mobile quarterbacks, but because Lamar in year 2 won an MVP, was unbelievable. And then in the playoff game was awful, and it felt like the whole next year we were all like, okay, Lamar's great, but we need to see him. Because Jalen was so bad in the playoffs, there's a question there. But thus far this year, passing and running together, 300 yards per game, 12 total touchdowns, 2 total turnovers. And again, since week 1 when the defense was bad, Wilds, only one team has scored more than 17 points on them, and that team's quarterback is the prince that was promised. So you can't even hold that against them. So
Actually,
the point is, I absolutely trust Philly more than I trust Dallas.
I tell you, I'm on Nick's side.
That's why you're wearing the Eagles gray.
That's right, yes.
you
I
got
was like,
your little
look,
Eagles colors
Dusty
on
picked
today.
it out for me. Dusty and Cab are like, get him the green tie. Here's the thing. There's a lot going on in the sports world right now. We've got Guardians-Yankees. Game 5, we've got the NBA season starting.
year 20
Alabama got upset. Allen Mahomes, a lot going on. I don't want this story of Mike McCarthy butchering an obvious challenge.
Can I just add to that real quick, James?
go ahead.
It's not just they didn't challenge. They ran hurry up.
Yeah.
They
why
ran
were
a
they doing
play like you run if you don't want the other team to challenge.
Right.
It made no sense.
Why?
They were like, that is one of the more, and McCarthy's had a lot of head scratchers. Them running hurry up to prevent their own opportunity to see the replays, that I've never seen.
But for me, there's guys for this. I've been on the sideline with Coach Mike McCarthy. Headset on, should we challenge it? Right? Coach McCarthy is on the sideline. He looking at the same thing we looking at. He don't got no TV right in front of him.
Okay.
It's guys that work on that say, Coach Mike, throw the red flag,
Okay, well,
challenge it.
You
When
guys
Coach
trust him.
Mike throws the red,
where we say
he's
that's
not-
why we don't trust him. You guys are like, trust him. Can't get him. You're going to win the Super Bowl. You can't challenge the first down correctly.
Trust, but I think they're better.
You implied trust.
I think they're better. Yes.
All right, we're moving on to the quarterback controversy that will never die because I'm not going to let it. It's a great narrative. Cooper Rush,
dead wild.
18 for 38, 181 yards, touchdown and almost touchdown and 3 interceptions. That almost touchdown was sweet. Are you ready to say, you want to go to you, Nick? He's ready. He's locked and loaded. That the Cowboys quarterback controversy is officially over.
Of course.
Okay.
And listen, this NFL season's been a little rough for me. I've gotten a few things wrong. I once again had my lock of the week just stabbed through my heart.
Who was
in
that?
the most? Well, I had the Jags catching 2.5. And Indy was going to beat them by 2, and I was going to get a beautiful cover. And instead, Matt Ryan throws a bomb with 18
great
seconds
game.
left. Doesn't matter. I say all that to say this. This I guaranteed, and I was right about. To the T, that let Cooper Rush play long enough, he's going to have a 3-interception game, and this is all going to go away. And I would argue, if we got Dak Prescott attached to a lie detector, when they're down 20-0, what's his mood? When it's 20-17 and a comeback is brewing, what's his mood? And then when Cooper throws the hat trick interception brew and it's over and they lose, I think this worked out perfectly for Dak. They went 4-1, so they're more than alive for the playoffs. But nobody now, when Dak struggles, which he will at some point, is going to be able to credibly say, go to the career backup. I said this was more like a Taylor Heineke situation than a Tom Brady situation, and it was.
I am with you. I'm with you. And I never thought there should have been a controversy, right? Obviously, Dak's better. But I got to say this, because the controversy's from Joe Public, right? That's who the people out there thinking.
Jerry Owner.
And Jerry. But I had to think about this, Nick. And this is unrealistic, but I guess it's possible. If they lost to Detroit and Chicago.
I think they could lose to Detroit.
I don't think just losing to Detroit would do it. But if they lost to Detroit and Chicago and Dak did not play well, you don't think some people would be calling for Cooper Rush? I think
the fans might be calling for Cooper Rush, but the coaching staff?
No.
Cooper Rush is not Dak Prescott.
But
this is crazy to me that people even say it's a controversy.
I don't think it's ever been among the coaches or kind of like we've never considered it a controversy.
Players is always
fans
is always looking for hope, right? What can we do? If Dak ain't playing well, Zeke ain't running it, put Pollard in there, do this, do that.
I do think
this is Dak Prescott's team. You let Dak Prescott sink the ship, and that's why you paid him all that money. And not only that, he's clearly better than Cooper Rush.
Clearly, Detroit and the Bears.
Okay. Go ahead, Wallace.
I agree that Dak Prescott is better than Cooper Rush.
There is no but after that.
But
you just see them against a good football team.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
You need an elite quarterback. There's no but.
I am not sure he's going to be at 100%. And call me a simple man.
No, he is going to be at 100% thanks to Cooper Rush.
Injured quarterbacks. Stafford, a little bit of elbow. Is Stafford playing great? No. Russ, lat. Is Russ playing great? No. Carson Wentz got injured. Now he's gone. Who else? Aaron Rodgers in his thumb doesn't look good. If he's 100%, sure. If he's less than 100%, I am saying a Russell Wilson last year came back a little bit too early.
We need more time for that segment. You guys are crazy.
You know what?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.